Afternoon, guys. It's your boy Tosin back at you with another episode of Fleet Footed. Now, I haven't done one in a while, but I'm looking to. I know I always say this, but I'm really looking to get some consistency. You know what they say: a righteous man fails. What a righteous man may fall 7 times, but he gets up. So I keep falling, and I'm gonna keep getting up, so I can just get some regular content going. But how can I not? How can I not speak on Arsenal after the past week? How can I not speak on Arsenal, especially after what happened yesterday, right? So there's good and there's bad, right? But if I had to think about how I could describe Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, right? The 2-2 draw, which some people are exaggerating, says feels like a defeat. Even though I kind of get what they're saying. If I could describe this result in one phrase, I would say painful but necessary. What Arsenal experienced in our 2-2 draw was painful and it was necessary. Now, first, you're probably wondering, okay, what on earth are you talking about? Let me actually just focus on Bayern Munich first. So if I think about us performance-wise, I would say we shaded it. I would say performance-wise, we were better than Bayern, right? And it was only marginally better, right? But Bayern had a lot of openings. We started better. We scored. At the time, you'd say we were in the ascendancy. And then you get Benny Blanco has a chance to make it 2-0, one-on-one with Neuer. Hits it straight at him. Fair enough, right back. But, he did score that ridiculously good goal against Sheffield United. So you'd hope for at least a bit more composure when it really mattered in the big stage in the Champions League. So he has that chance, but straight after, we can see the goal. And it's interesting because I was doing the rounds on Twitter, reading tons of articles, blah, 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 blah. People saying, oh, uncharacteristic of Arsenal, uncharacteristic of Arsenal. Yeah, it is. If we look at us in the league, absolutely what we're doing is uncharacteristic. It's totally uncharacteristic. However, in Champions League, it is not. And yes, I know we haven't conceded any goals. That was the first time we conceded goals at home in the Champions League. Impressive, fair. But in terms of how we go about conducting ourselves, by we I mean Arsenal, in the Champions League, I don't think that was uncharacteristic at all. And I'm not going to lie to you. There were lots of positives I saw with Arsenal. Number one, Saka. I don't know why people hate on him so much, but bruv, he was up against Alphonso Davies and he caused him problems. You see some people making jokes, oh yeah, Saka's going to limp off again. Nah. He got his chance, bagged it, great finish, and the penalty, I personally don't think it's a pen. I think Neuer makes contact, but I think if Saka doesn't do that nonsense where he's pretty much diving and looking for it, I think then he's got more of a chance of the pen being given. But it was weird. It was kind of like it was 65% not a pen and 35% a pen, because 100% Neuer's leg is outstretched. His leg is completely outstretched. So absolutely, 100%, if there's contact, he's impeding the player. But then you also see Saka, and this is me and I know I'm being really harsh here, but if you look at it, his right leg, I just cannot ignore that right leg dangling. It's like he's trying to do one of them stretches you do before a football match where you open the gate and close the gate. Bro, if your leg is too far, your right leg is too far out looking for the contact. And I think he kind of makes the referee and the line-nose mind for them. It looked like a dive, if I can be honest, even though there's contact with Neuer. So on the balance of probability, 65% a dive and 35% a pen, you got to give it as the dive. So I don't think it was a penalty. But overall, I thought Saka played well. I thought he was a danger man. He was he caused problems, Like, he caused problems against Alphonso Davies. I don't care how Bayern Munich have been in the Bundesliga. That is a quality left back. This is one of the best left wing backs in Europe. And Saka did well against him, scored against him, and generally was good taking him on. So there was a lot of positives from Arsenal yesterday. I thought Jesus. It's strange. I saw something. I saw someone post something. Honestly, I think Jesus is a guy that we play in Champions League matches. I think the Champions League suits him a lot more than Premier League at the moment. I don't know why, but his quality. I mean, I think he's our top. Him and Saka are probably amongst our top scorers in the Champions League, and his quality comes more to the fore. I don't know why, but it just does. He looked really good when he came on. Of course, Trossard as well coming on, just gave us that ruthlessness, that good finish, for the equaliser. So there were positives, right? Now, there were positives, and even Zinchenko as well, who's been getting a lot of stick. Some of it fair, some of it a bit unfair. He came on and he looked good. He looked good. He looked better than Kivior did. That I'll tell you for free. So I think it's interesting. Zinchenko and Jesus, they seem to be like players more suited to games like these two-legged ties where you kind of need a bit more know-how. I'm going to get to that. So those were positives I saw in Arsenal, right? And also another positive, that Arteta was quick. You know, he was proactive. He didn't take his time or faffing about. Kivior was, let's be honest, he was struggling against Sane. Sane was turning him inside out, running him ragged. Took him up at half-time. Fairs. That's a positive, right? But what were the negatives I saw? Well, actually, instead of focusing on our negatives, I want to talk about Bayern. I was impressed with Bayern, I'm not going to lie. And the thing is, I kept saying it before the match. Why you're seeing tweets, pray for Bayern, this, that. It's almost like, and here's, I'm not trying to like fence it. All I'm saying is 100%. I had a feeling. I had a feeling that we were not going to get this Bayern Munich that you're seeing losing 3-2 to Heidenheim. We're never going to get that type of Bayern. No chance. We're not getting that Bayern. This is the only trophy they've got left to play for this season. Do you really think they're just going to come to our ground and roll over? Really? Really? Is that really what they're going to do? I'm not going to lie, I was impressed with Bayern, you know. I actually expected them to come here and give us a tough game. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say I didn't expect us to win. I did expect us to win. I expected us to win. So the draw was a surprise to me, given the fact that we had pretty much an entirely home stadium. You get what I mean. This whole stadium was pretty much filled with our fans. We were in the ascendancy at the time. You're thinking if we probably take that chance 2-0, it could be a different game. But these are what these chances, these moments are what the Champions League is about. Now, I don't want to focus too much on what Arsenal didn't do. I'll get to that when I speak about Bayern. I was impressed with Bayern. What was I impressed about? They have European pedigree. Arsenal do not have European pedigree. So why are people surprised that Saliba and Gabriel, who have never played for us in a Champions League quarter-final tie, getting all nervy? Why are people surprised at that? Why? Why are people why haven't people seen us in the Champions League? When are people going to learn that what we do in the league does not easily translate to the Premier League? These group of players are used to playing with each other in the Premier League. They overachieved last season, did really well, and are doing well this season, right? But that's not the Champions League. This is our first Champions League quarter-final tie since 2010. This is the first time we're in the competition, period, since 2017. Now, I'm not trying to give us excuses or anything, but Arsenal have no European pedigree. When will Gunners start learning this? I don't care if we're beating West Ham 6-0, all of these. I don't care about that. When it comes to Champions League, I do not care what I'm doing in the league because we have no European pedigree. And when you're playing a team like Bayern Munich, these guys won Champions League 4 years ago. Of that starting 11, 5 of them were in the team that won in 2020. And one of them came on as a sub. So that's 6 of the starting 11, over half of the starting 11 that won the Champions League last year. Now, add to that, the best number 9 for me in world football right now, Harry Kane, much better than Haaland. I've been saying that for ages, and I'm glad that now it's more realised. Yeah, okay, people can say, oh, yeah, great, he scored a pen. Pull apart our centre backs, ragged. He's probably the best in the world at dropping deep and just slicing teams open. And the crazy thing is, there were more chances that Bayern Munich made that you won't see if you're watching it from highlights. He created good chances that they blazed over, right? So, but the point I'm making is, why are people surprised? Bayern have European pedigree, and I was impressed with them. I'm not going to lie to you. What was I impressed with? Literally every single lapse, every single poor error in judgment, they punished us. They punished us. Their first shot on target, goal. Second shot on target, goal. That's what you could. This is a team that knows how to conduct themselves in a European two-legged tie. We do not. Also managed by a manager who has not only won the CL, but has reached 2 finals and has extensive experience in this competition. I just, for the life of me, can't understand how people will allow themselves to be fooled by what they're seeing in Bundesliga. No way am I fooled. Bayern Munich showed that they're a good team. And the crazy thing is, like, where was Rice? Where was Rice? Where was Jorginho? These guys have been amazing for us. And I'm not even I'm just trying to help people understand how good Bayern Munich were yesterday. Like, I was really impressed. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, we kind of played into their hands. We didn't take our chances. But a good team does that. A good team goes away where they're the relative kind of underdog, even though I don't think so. Even though they've got the more European trophies than us. And they and do what they did. Expert away performance. And Arsenal are actually kind of lucky. Yeah, I know White had this chance. Saka right at the end. Had a few decent half chances here and there. But if you ask me, Bayern Munich, they had a lot of chances. On another day, they could score more goals. You know? And I actually think this result is good for a lot, especially for Arsenal fans. It's good for our humility, but I think for the players, this type of result is good for them. Now, why do I say that? Because it's just to help us understand that, look, just because you're killing it in the Premier League, it doesn't equal you doing well in the Champions League. And I think just that principle, what gets you success in one area isn't guaranteed to get you success in another area. So if I'm successful doing something one way today, that does not guarantee that I'm going to be successful doing that same thing tomorrow. You've got to be willing to change, get used to it. I think this result is necessary for Arsenal. They just need to learn how to be able to handle ties like this. I don't think they do. Even you see Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior, who people are giving stick. This is the same Kivior that's looked pretty much immaculate our past 6-7 games. These type of things happen. They don't have the experience. The lights were shining too bright. Too bright. I've never seen Saliba I've seen him have some off games. And Gabriel's kind of got that in him. But Gabriel's been a monster this season. These guys did not look like the same centre-backs that was celebrating blocks against Brighton. It was different. You got to ask yourself, why was it different? Champions League. No pedigree, no experience. So these things, I actually think it's a good thing. Like, the team needs it. Now, can we go to Bayern Munich and win? Yeah, we can. Is it going to be difficult? Yeah. Are Bayern Munich now favourites? Absolutely they are. But it's not impossible. I'm going there on hope. I'm going there on hope that we can actually beat them. But the spiritual principle I really wanted to draw from this is, sometimes in life you've got to change things up. You can't expect to just carry one thing over to another thing. Like, for example, me doing well in calisthenics does not translate to me doing well with weightlifting. And me doing well with my weightlifting does not translate to me doing well in calisthenics. I can bench press, I can go heavy, but for some reason or another, when I try and do a muscle up, the same things I need for a bench press aren't the same things I need for a muscle up, even though I'm using similar muscles. You know, that's just the way life is. And that's the way God has actually intended life to be. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 to 19, let me read it. It says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." So I love this scripture because it always reminds me about the fact that God is an innovator. He's never content with us being set in our ways and not changing. He's always looking for us to change, to develop, to grow, to learn, you know? And I think this is just the life principle. You can't be someone who just expect, because you're doing well in one area, you just expect yourself to just do well in, no. You've got to then learn, you've got to do well in one area, and then when you go to a new area, you need to learn new things, different ways to learn how you can crush it in that area. I think it's kind of prideful and naive to just think, oh yeah, it's just going to translate. Who are you? You know, and I'm talking to myself. I've been there so many times. I've been there where, okay, cool, I'm doing this. I gave you the example, calisthenics and weightlifting. I'm doing this well. I should naturally. Yeah, you'd think that being able to, like, you'd think that even pull-ups, you'd think being able to do pull-ups, doing loads of pull-ups, doing them really strong and whatnot, would then translate to you being able to do a muscle up just like that. No, no, that's what I thought, And then after, it took me 9 months, even though I know how to do muscle ups, chin ups, like 4 ones. It took me 9 months to learn how to do one muscle up. That's just the way life goes. So I actually think it's painful because, I mean, the opportunity was there for us. The opportunity was there to actually, go to the Allianz with some sort of insurance. But now we're just gonna have to do things the hard way, and it's possible we can do it. So I just wanted to share this with you guys today. Like, don't have unrealistic expectations with Arsenal. We're not just going to jump and flick a switch, and just go through nights. We're not just going to jump and flick a switch and be amazing at the Champions League. Yes, we have a good team. Yes, we're growing, we're developing, we're transforming. Our defense, for me, is still probably one of the, if not the best defense in Europe. It is. However, we still need, it's a mindset, it's a mentality. We still need that know-how. That it's you either got it or you don't. You just get it. You can't look at Man City. Look at them now. Like, Man City, Man City are able to now go to Bernabeu and in a game like that against Real Madrid, go pound for pound with them and be able to hold themselves now and be favourites. And on another day, Real Madrid could have won that with loads of the counter-attacks, but Man City are able to do that. But the Man City you see now to get there had to be the Man City that blew it against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. Had to be the Man City that got annihilated by Monaco in two-legged ties. That's what needed to happen. Had to be the Man City that lost to Chelsea in the Champions League final. You got to go through these experiences. You can't just expect being world class in one area to just translate to another. So that's what I just really wanted to share, and just to not just looking at Arsenal, but just looking at it just as a life thing. Like, expect to go through the necessary difficulties. It's good. It means you're going to stay hungry. It means you're going to be humble, and it helps you avoid complacency and pride and an unrealistic, overly prideful or arrogant view of self. So that's pretty much all I wanted to share about the Arsenal versus Bayern Munich match, and just my thoughts and spiritual principles that we could learn from that. Anyways, guys, it's so good to be back. I know I'm wearing a shirt. I'm just happy to be back. I'm just happy to be able to record content. I'm just going to make an aim just to record as much content each week as soon as possible after the match, wherever I'm at. I won't really reveal where I am, but you guys can take a guess as to where I am. I'm just going to do what I can. So please make sure to like this, to like this video if you like it. Please make sure to share it as well. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram. I'm going to put all my socials in the description. Thank you so much for all of your support. Let's get going.